Hello. Hello, everybody. Welcome to another episode of Tarot by Hilary Live. I am your hostess with the mostest, Hilary of tarotbyhilary.com, professional tarot reader and EFT tapping practitioner, here to demystify the mystical and put you in touch with the most beautiful of gifts, your own intuition. Because yes, my friends, do not argue with me. You have intuition. This is one of my long and firmly held beliefs that everybody has intuition. So for tonight's episode, I'm still settling into our new place. So there is no defined topic in mind. Just basically, astrology from Teresa Reed's wonderful AstroBiz Digest at the top of the episode. Let's talk a little bit about things going on after that. Specifically, the newest episode of Card Slingers Coast to Coast that just went live today. The mid-episode reading, in which a lucky viewer can win a 3-card tarot reading live on the air with me right now. So stay tuned for that. And then at the end of the episode, the weekend forecast, in which I pulled either a tarot card or an oracle card to set you off into the weekend prepared and not scared. So if that sounds good to you, stick around. And also, I will be back in 20 seconds or so. Let's run the intro, shall we? And when it says Fridays at 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, that is going to be a little bit more flexible for now because I have a little bit more commuting to do, and I'm not at home quite as readily on Friday nights as I have more recently been. So we're going to probably fluctuate between 6:30 to 6:45 p.m. To get started on the live streams. And then hopefully, as my schedule regulates out a little bit, I can probably go ahead and start to pre-schedule some of these live streams. But usually it happens every Friday night, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, on a different metaphysical subject. Completely up to the viewership as to what I tackle in the way of topics, because you're the reason. You're the reason why I do this live stream, and I have been continuing to do this live stream pretty much every week for the past coming up on 4 years now. So, but yeah. So if you're just tuning in now, I've just gone over the regular agenda that we do pretty much every week. I didn't get time to do an overlay tonight, but I can make one up really quickly. So, or I can just tell you the order again, if you'd like to know. First, we usually do the astro-weather from Teresa Reed's wonderful AstroBiz Digest, which is a subscription that you can sign up for, $99 for a year-long subscription, in which you can get astrology in layman's terms straight to your email inbox. It is geared towards entrepreneurs and business owners, but I found it to be very, very helpful professionally. So there's that. Then we usually tackle a topic, metaphysical divination topic, whatever you guys want to learn about too. We have done some Sabbath series in which I discuss the Wiccan wheel, the Witch's Wheel of the Year. We've done a goddess series in which we did deep dives into different goddesses that you wanted to learn about. So really, like, no topic is really taboo. You can certainly suggest topics to see in future episodes, and if I know about it, I will certainly teach it. or I will bring in an expert. Because we've had experts come on the broadcast in the past as well, including someone for human design, which I find to be really fascinating. We have Meg Percy, who is a human design expert. We've had Sophia on, Benevolent Corvus, a number of times at this point. So it really is what you want to see, who you want to see. Let me know, and I'll try and make it happen as best as I can. So that is the main topic of the episode. Then we usually do the mid-episode reading in the middle of the episode. And then at the very end, we do the weekend forecast, which I'll usually pull an oracle card or a tarot card to bring you into the weekend. So let us get started. Oh, and by the way, if you're wondering how to work with me, you can find all of that information out by going to my website right here down below, tarotbyhilary.com, Hilary with one L, please and thank you. And that will take you to my website in which you can find out all of the different information, all of the different things that I do, including information about Card Slingers Coast to Coast, which is a tarot podcast that I host with myself, Melissa Sonova, and Jamie Elford. And then also my standalone podcast, the Tarot by Hilary podcast, in which new episodes usually drop every Friday. I have no idea what episode's going to drop today, but I do know what episode dropped for Card Slingers. So we're going to talk a little bit about that after we go over the astro-weather. So first up, let's do the astro-weather from Teresa Reed, and I'm going to show that on screen here. And that link will pop up if you're interested in purchasing the Astro Biz Digest for yourself. That information is in the chat, and I'm also going to go ahead and display it on screen as I take a sip of my iced coffee, because iced coffee is life. By the way, hello. Hellos are in order. Hello, Sunny. How are you doing? Feel free to drop your name into the chat and where you're tuning in from. I would love to hear it. All right. Let me pull up the AstroBiz Digest. I know probably the big astrology point for this particular week is going to be the new moon, I think in Cancer. So if you've been feeling up in your feels lately, if you've been feeling very emotional lately, it may be because there's a new moon in Cancer. It just may be. So let's take a look. And what I like to do when doing the AstroBiz or doing the Astro Weather is providing basically the overall transits that are going on this week, and then going into the details for Friday, Saturday, and Sunday, because I do want to encourage you to purchase the AstroBiz Digest for yourself if you're liking what you're hearing. All right, let's see. Oh, maybe that's not happening yet, or maybe it is. Yes, that is happening this weekend. For a second there, I was just like, why is it not at the top of why is it not at the top of the email with all of the big transits going on? But I guess it isn't. All right, so big transits going on for the week of July 10th through the 16th. Get ready for maximum productivity when Mars enters Virgo on the 10th. This is a fabulous transit for working smarter, not harder. You can find efficiency in every task. Results: everything on the to-do list is checked off, and you're feeling on top of your game. Yay! It's also an excellent time to declutter, edit, fine-tune, and delegate. Just watch out for the shadow side, perfectionism, which can lead to procrastination. Yep, I definitely felt that. Keep in mind, that was Mars entering Virgo on the 10th, so this has already happened. If you fret over the wee details, you'll stall your progress. and Mars remains in Virgo until August 27th. So we're still under that. We're still under that umbrella, Mars being in Virgo. Think big when Mercury skips into bold Leo from the 11th through to the 28th. So started on the 11th, will continue until the 28th of this month. Creativity is king, pettiness is out, and folks want to be entertained. So put on a show. This is also a stellar time for public speaking, podcasts, exciting PR, and major announcements. In other words, let's get super visible. That's actually really great to hear because I am doing a speaking engagement next week. So happy to hear that tooting your horn is in season with that particular transit. All right. Let me go ahead and, oh, that's not what I wanted to hide. I wanted to hide this. Okay, cool. All right, let's get into Friday, Saturday, and Sunday. So for Friday, today, July 14th, the morning and afternoon are clear as fresh ice. You can make tons of progress on writing and content creation. Shut out distractions and go. Host an inspirational live stream when the moon sextiles Chiron at 5:37 p.m. Okay, so I'm a little bit late for that, about an hour late for that, but still. The public may need uplifting content tonight. Wear your heart on your sleeve. Okay, I'll do my best. The Sun-Uranus sextile at 7:02 p.m. amplifies this vibe even further. So use your platform for good. Speak up, stand out, and make a difference. The world needs leaders who aren't afraid to do that. So today, Friday, is a power day for Gemini and a weekday for Sagittarius. Is everybody ready for Saturday and Sunday? Give me a hell yeah in the chat. Let me know. And I'm going to take another sip of my iced coffee. All right. For Saturday and Sunday, Saturday starts off on a slow note due to the void of Chorus moon. Sleep in, eat a leisurely breakfast, and catch up on current events if you're able to do that. Caring vibes are on the front burner when the moon flows into Cancer at 1:13 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. This lunation is fantastic for handling client concerns and connecting with the public. It's also my favorite time to tidy up my home office. It's here all weekend, so take care of folks and spruce up your space. The Moon-Mars sextile at 7:48 p.m. could be splendid for a gathering with your team or for VIP clients, or hanging out at home with your family. It's up to you. So that's for Saturday. Sunday finds the moon sextile Jupiter at 12:23 p.m., an aspect best suited for travel, publishing, or reassuring the masses. Frankly, I plan on doing nothing. It's great for that too. So Saturday is a power day for Gemini and a weekday for Sagittarius, and Sunday is a power day for Cancer and a weekday for Capricorn. So before we move on into talking a little bit about this week's episode of the Card Slingers Coast to Coast podcast, I wanted to open up the floor to you and ask you if there's any particular days that you wanted to take a look at the astrology on, based on Teresa Reed's wonderful AstroBiz Digest. If Monday was a little bit funky, or if Tuesday was a little bit weird, and you want to know if there was an astrological reason for it, let me know in the chat. I'll give you about a minute or two to do so, and then we'll move on to talking a little bit about this week's episode of the Card Slingers Coast to Coast podcast. or if you have any other questions. But for right now, we're focused a little bit on the AstroBiz Digest before we move into other stuff. All right, so I'm going to assume that nobody has any questions about the astrology from the AstroBiz Digest. So we're going to move on to briefly talking a little bit about the newest episode of the Card Slingers Coast to Coast podcast, which is episode 81, if you can believe it, called Getting Touchy Feely. I'm going to go ahead and display the link so that you can see the show notes if you want to, and also listen to the episode. But you can actually listen to Card Slingers Coast to Coast wherever you subscribe to your podcasts. We're on many podcast platforms, including Spotify, Stitcher, Apple Podcasts, pretty much all of them. And if you do not see the Card Slingers Coast to Coast podcast on your particular podcast platform, please let your podcast platform know that you want to hear Card Slingers Coast to Coast. All right, so the episode is yet another boundaries episode. And I mean, like, this is kind of the reason why I really understand the that phrase, the thing that you most need to learn is the thing that you end up teaching about. You end up teaching the thing that you most need to learn. So once again, I felt like I was teaching boundaries in this episode. Not that it was necessarily me being like a finger wagger or anything like that, but more because it was the nature of the question that we were asked. So we tackled the sensitive topic of deck boundaries. How do we cleanse our decks? Who do we allow to touch our tools? And we got a bit deep about boundaries, cleaning, and possession around our divination tools. This was so the question was, there was a small side topic that was touched upon in episode 32 of Card Slingers, which made me want to ask the question: feelings around other people touching your decks. This got me thinking about a situation I found myself in, and I'm looking for advice and opinions. How do you all reset and cleanse your decks? And what is the preferred method of the Card Slingers trio? For example, let's say someone has touched your deck, or worse, had the balls to use it for reading without consent, and you're trying to rekindle a relationship with that deck after the fact. Is there ever truly a lost cause outside of a deck too damaged to use? I have tried putting the deck back in order, smudged it, put selenite on it. It's sat on a shelf since then unused, and I can't shake the disrespected feeling. And I'm hoping you all might have another option I can try before I throw in the towel and give up on the specific deck. And I think the show notes actually ended up encompassing some of the things that we were going to get back to and then we didn't get back to. So apologies for that. If you're seeing like kind of the behind the scenes stuff that was written, it wasn't our intention. And I think a couple of the show notes that we did for, I think the upcoming episode on the deep dive of the Tower card ended up getting mixed into this episode's show notes. So apologies, and we'll probably end up fixing that. But either way, the audio for the episode is very good. So But yeah, this episode, I would encourage you to listen to this episode. If you, it's not just about the deck, it's more about the disrespect that was paid to the deck, which was an extension of the person that was asking the question. At least in my mind, it was when I was listening to Jamie ask, basically posit the question to us in the course of recording that episode. But I would say check it out. Let me know. But I really like that episode. And what we do in Card Slingers is that we always listen to the episode again after we were like weeks after we recorded it, before it's like getting prepped to be produced and edited, the audio edited before it gets published. And in those moments, it's almost like we have enough space between the recording and the listening to hear things that we didn't even realize that we had said in that episode. And I just thought it was a very good episode, not just about a divination tool, but about boundaries around your belongings, your possessions, your physicality, not just your body, but um, the things that are yours, you know, your material possessions, basically. But also understanding that your divination tool becomes an extension of yourself, basically, you know. And you have to, and we do talk a little bit about this in the episode, where, you know, in certain episodes we've said in the past, like, don't be too precious. Like, in the end, a tarot deck is just pieces of paper, like pretty pictures on pieces of paper. So don't get too precious about it. But then at the same time, it becomes, your divination tool becomes something more, and it becomes sacred because of your use of it. And if someone comes along and picks it up and starts shuffling it or using it, you know, without your consent, that is a violation of your boundaries. That is a violation of the friendship, even, you know. And I think that's kind of what I keyed in upon when I was giving my response during this particular episode. And I also want to know what you think about that, whether you're watching this live right now, or whether you're watching the replay. Like, how would you answer that question that is posed? You know, like, listen to the episode by all means, and then I would love to hear feedback about how you would answer that question that we got from a listener. Honestly, I can't believe we've already done 81 episodes. That is wild to me. That is absolutely wild to me that we've done that many episodes. It's a lot brighter outside than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to start to rain again, but it's not raining yet. All right. Well, I am getting a little bit hungry. And I would love to be able to wrap this up, but we still have to do the mid-episode reading and the weekend forecast. So let me go ahead and put that out there. And let's see. Let's do the comment snake. And then also let's do the lottery jar and see who is here for the mid-episode reading. So this is something that I've been doing about, let's see, about 8 months now, I think. We added the mid-episode reading to our regular agenda on these live streams. And the rules of the mid-episode reading is simple. You comment, and your comment then will put your profile picture into the lottery jar over there. And then when we accumulate enough people, I go ahead and I pick a winner, and that person will then put their question into the chat, and then I will do a 3-card tarot reading for them. So that's it. That's the mid-episode reading, and it is something that I like to do to say thank you to all of the live viewers and the replay viewers that have been keeping this live stream going for the last 4 years next month. As of August, it will be 4 years of doing these live streams pretty much weekly on a regular basis. So that is absolutely wild to me. And we have some regular viewers here that keep me going and keep me encouraged, especially when I see a lot of spam or trollers or people saying Grand Rising, beloved, please, I feel drawn to your energy and I want to give you a reading, but pay me. Like a real reader really doesn't do that. And they especially don't do it on another person's live stream. It's just like, just because I'm not acknowledging those particular comments doesn't mean that I don't see them. Doesn't mean that I don't see them, and doesn't mean that I don't take action behind the scenes. So, and if we don't have anyone for the mid-episode reading, I will just move right on to the weekend forecast and pull a tarot card or an oracle card, whatever I'm feeling drawn to bring us into the weekend. So I will leave this open for another 2 minutes. And I will use the countdown widget to do so. It's a very strange thing. It's a very strange thing being a professional reader. Oh, so Fran is here. Hi, Fran. My energy is that of a feral cat. Yeah, it doesn't matter what comment you put in, as long as you put it in a comment. Hi, Fran. I was feeling alone out here in the universe until you commented. I'm just like, what is going on? Where is everybody tonight? So while I am waiting, we've got another minute left. Then Fran gets the reading, if nobody else. Yes, Fran, I have trees. This is my new place. Do you like it? This is the new place, coming at you live for a second time. This is the living room of the new place. And if once we get patio furniture, I might do the live stream out on the balcony. So you'll see even more trees behind me. So yes, with a tub. I have a tub. I have a tub and I used it. Have tub, will use. Absolutely. All right, another 6 seconds. Winding down. Book recommendations. 2 books that I'm currently reading at this time. Trying to finish off Magnetic Mindset by Gala Darling. That black mark up here, that's actually dye, I think, from my my headband, my like head it's like a headband, a soft headband with headphones in it. And I think they were resting on that for too long, so it ended up like dying part of the book. But this book I actually started. I like special ordered it like for rush delivery, so that I could take it with me on our trip that we had, our big trip that we had last year. And now I'm realizing that it's just like it's been a whole year and I haven't, and I stopped at like almost the final chapter for some reason. But you know, that's what happens when you read books sometimes you're not ready to digest that message until you're ready to digest that message, much in the same way as a tarot reading, I might add. But yeah, so I'm reading Gala Darling's Magnetic Mindset, who, by the way, is my tapping teacher. That's where I got my tapping certification from Gala Darling Method. So highly recommend. And then the other book that I'm reading that I actually have not even started it yet, but I'm gonna, right after I'm finished with Magnetic Mindset, is Life Magic by Laura Bushnell. And these are like some books that, like this book, I haven't touched because I didn't even know I had it because I have so many books. And this is just what happens when you clean up, when you're moving. Things come to the surface and you're just like, oh my God, like I have this book and I haven't read it. So those are the 2 books that I'm currently reading or about to start reading. All right, book recommendations over. Let's go ahead and get the winner, which is going to be Fran, because she's the only one in the lottery pot. So Fran, congratulations. You won the mid-episode reading for this particular episode. I think you know the drill by now. I think you've won the mid-episode reading before. So go ahead and write your question into the chat, and I will pull 3 cards to answer that question or to give you insight onto that question or that situation. Let me go ahead and take down the crawler because you won it. It's yours. And I thank everyone for participating or at least being here and viewing and witnessing. And I'm going to go ahead and grab the nearest tarot deck that I have, which is, I'm going to go with the Mystic Mondays. Got the Mystic Mondays right here. And I'm not sure where I put my other decks. Did I leave them? Of course I left them over there. Because we're probably going to end up going with an Oracle deck for the weekend forecast. So let me show Mystic Mondays Tarot by Grace Duong, a deck for the modern mystic. You'll see why I like it in a few minutes. But I love the box. It's got those, the iridescence, sparkly, shiny. And this deck does come with a little guidebook as well. So as usual, when I am working with a deck and when I'm doing the mid-episode reading, I will, depending on how I feel, I will either give my interpretation first and then go to the guidebook, or I'll go to the guidebook first and then give my interpretation. And oftentimes my interpretation will enhance the guidebook, and vice versa. And oh, okay. I was just about to say to Fran, and if you don't know what to ask, you can always ask, what do I most need to know right now? But you have submitted your question, which is, what is with all the airport dreams? Ooh, okay. Well, I can possibly answer this sans cards, but then I'll definitely, well, that's a flyer. But then I will definitely answer with using the cards as well. But a lot of people ask me for dream interpretation, especially my mom. My mom, I don't know what it is. We've talked about my mom before in previous live streams. She usually will call at this time. By the way, our landline is not set up. For some reason, we haven't figured out how to set it up, and the technician didn't set it up for us when they set up everything else, which is both like kind of a blessing and a curse at the same time. But the blessing part of it is my mom is not going to call because she can't. It's like literally sitting next to me and not set up. But my mom will ask me, I had a dream about blah, and it was so real. Or I had a dream about this person that has been dead, 30, 40 years, but what does that mean? Or, and I will usually reflect it back to the person that's asking me, what does this dream mean? Because I think dreams are very personal. And the symbols that are used in dreams, we're going to find different meanings in them. Like, for example, if I dream of a snake, I think of snakes as wisdom. But if somebody has a fear of snakes and they dream of snakes, they are going to not think of that dream as a wisdom dream. You know what I mean? They're going to be fearful about it because that is a fear for them or a phobia for them. So when asking about dreams, consider how you're feeling. So I reflect that back to you, Fran. Besides, what is it with all the airport dreams? Like, how did you feel? How did you feel in the dream? Did you feel anxious? Like, were you in an airport and you were rushing to get to a gate because you were afraid of missing your flight? Were you waiting for somebody to come in? Was it arrivals? Was it departures? What did the airport look like? What did the airport remind you of? Was it an airport that you were familiar with? Or was it, like in dreams where it's just like, it was my house, but it didn't look like my house, but it was my house. You know what I mean? So this is part of the reason why I talk a little bit about dreams and dream interpretation, because like you start to sound a little bit crazy when you try to explain a dream to somebody else, because it's just like they didn't experience the same thing as you, because you're the only one that can dream your dreams. And I kind of like to quote what is it, Dennis from It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia, and I think it's even in the first episode of the first season, where he's just like, oh, don't talk to me, like Sweet D tries to talk to him about dreams, and he's just like, oh, don't talk to me about dreams. If I'm not in it and no one's having sex in it, then I don't want to know about it. Which is like probably one of my favorite quotes from It's Always Sunny of all time, but I've only seen the first couple of seasons. So I'm sure there's another quote that I'm going to like better than that. So yeah, that's a little bit about dreams before I go ahead and give you the reading. And then also there's another layer to that too, because I believe we visit the astral plane when we are dreaming. And I think that we have a collective experience of the astral plane in which we're actually having visitations, conversations with people. And there is, there's a train station. There's, I'm sure, an airport. There's a carnival and a Ferris wheel. These are all things that I've experienced on the astral. And if you have a connection with somebody else and you ask them, did you dream it? Like I dreamed about you and I at the carnival. It's quite likely that they were having the same dream too. Like you were sharing that dream. Because I've talked about this with my coven mates too, where it's just like, were you at the Ferris wheel, a couple of nights ago? Yeah, I was at the Ferris wheel with this person. And it's just like, okay, yeah, I saw you guys. I was over getting cotton candy. It's very weird. But if you can't talk about it during the Tarot by Hilary live stream, when can you talk about it, right? All right. So there was a flyer card, just to let you know. So we'll consider that the first card out of 4. So I'm going to pull 3 more. That's another flyer card. Ooh, okay. So this is another thing. Okay. This is another thing I'm going to say about dream interpretation, especially when you bring the tarot into it. How do you feel is very important. And also, if it's hyper realistic, it could be a precognition. It could be a premonition of something to come. But something's knocking. Something's knocking for you, and it's something that needs to be paid attention to, because 3 out of the 4 cards are major arcana cards, and I swear I have shuffled this deck thoroughly. So the very first card that you got is the Star. And to me, it's that the Star is about goals being realized. It's about hopes. It's about dreams. It's also about emotional healing as well. So I think the airport dreams are coming to you to kind of heal some part of your subconscious. And I'm actually going to do this reading a little bit differently, and I'm going to do it 1 for 1. So I'm going to do my interpretation, then I'm going to look in the book. Then I'm going to do my interpretation for the next card and look in the book. So that's what I'm feeling called to do. So that's what I'm going to do. But the Star card, before I go to the book, the Star card, the Star will also come up. Stars will also come up in a different divination system, the Lenormand. And the stars for the Lenormand deck, that usually represents, it can represent plans. A map almost. So for some reason, I'm being called to say, it's just like, there's some kind of planning going on. There's some kind of map being built as well. There's plans in the works, and that the airport dreams have to do with that. And feel free to give me feedback in the chat as it comes up for you. Yeah, so, and the Star card is coming up upright, so I'm going to go ahead and hold it up. Healing, inspiration, and serenity are the keywords for the upright meaning. The universe has your back. This is a period of healing, inspiration, and serenity. You can trust in yourself and forces beyond you, lending a helping hand whenever you need it. You've done the work, healed old wounds, and are ready to step into the spotlight to show off your many talents. Let your freak flag fly. Others are drawn to your authenticity, creative spirit, and individuality. Once you have accepted yourself for exactly who you are, you've opened the door to allow others to see how special you are. What makes you different is also what makes you stand out. Simply put, you are flawless. Look to the North Star and let it guide you toward your highest good. Your stardust is infectious, and others will be inspired by your spirit. The world is ready for your transformation into the star that you already knew you were. And I see that you're responding here, so let me scooch these out of the way so I can actually show your response. Something is stopping me from getting on the plane. I get to the airport and I can't find my boarding pass or my coat when going to Hawaii. Never the same dream. And I'm assuming that you don't have any actual travel plans going on right now, like in reality. It's like it's a symbol for something. So something's stopping you. Something stop. And you know what, and that's another thing. It's just like, how do you see airports? Do you see airports as expansion, or evolution? Because that might be what the representation of the airport is the stand-in for. It's like, what is stopping your evolution? What is stopping you from expanding? What is stopping you from the bigger world? And that's another thing that is coming up in your cards too, because you got the star card, and then the next card that was also a flyer card is the world card. So it's almost like you're ready. Something like everything is telling you to go, 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 but then there's something stopping you right from the moment of impact, the moment of expansion. However, the world is upright. So if the world was reversed, I would say the cycle is having trouble completing, but I don't think that's the case here. I think the cycle is trying to complete. Better. So the world, to me, especially this depiction of the world, is almost like it's the world, I think, is like global, like large, but it's that it looks like an atom, which is like small, so it's just like there's something to be said between like the outside is reflecting the inside is reflecting the outside. The micro is affecting the macro is affecting the micro, which is very like timey-wimey, esoteric, but that's just what I'm getting from the world card. Like, it's just like the world doesn't start outside, it starts from within. So from the companion book for the world, hold on, let me hold it while I say it. Ruled by Saturn, by the way. Planetary influences Saturn. At least according to the Mystic Mondays deck. Completion, achievement, and unity. Finito, a long-term goal has been reached, and you can now sit back and relax. All the pieces have come together, and you have finally found your place in the world. Celebrate. This is a huge win. Take pleasure and look back at all the progress that you have made from when you first started. Feel proud? Well, you should. It's amazing how much we can achieve when we put our minds to it. There is an acceptance of yourself and others that creates wholeness and unity. You're realizing that you are part of something much larger than yourself and are able to see the big picture much more clearly. With endings come new beginnings. The world could also literally mean that you will be traveling and will experience a new world wherever you decide to adventure. The world is your oyster. And I see that other people are asking their questions in the chat. As I said before, now is not the time for that. I literally opened the floor for the contest, and Fran is the winner of tonight's mid-episode reading. So Fran's question will be the only one that is answered tonight. If you would like to do this again, or you'd like a reading with me, you can certainly book one at tarotbyhilary.com. But I do have to honor the rules of the mid-episode reading. All right, so the next card that you received, Fran, is the Seven of Cups, which is the only minor arcana card that you're receiving in this reading. So Seven of Cups is just like, I don't know if that's like almost a representation of like the different gates, at an airport. So it's just like, it feels like this airport dream is like an analogy for something else that's going on in your life, in which you're trying to complete that cycle. So something is paused, you know, and there's something to like that's trying to complete, and your subconscious is trying to complete it. But with the Seven of Cups coming up, there's a lot of different options. There's a lot of different ways that you can complete this cycle. You can also try lucid dreaming as well, or induce a lucid dreaming state so that you're able to resolve what is it with these airport dreams? How do I complete these? So Seven of Cups is usually about all of these different options, but there's usually one option that's going to be the best option for you at this time. So, and again, upright. There's only one reversed card coming up, and it's coming up as your last card. So Seven of Cups, illusion, prizes, and temptation. Be careful what you wish for. Many prizes are presented to you, some of which may not be in your best interest. You're projecting your dreams onto reality, creating illusions that seem way too good to be true. Too many options can be confusing, and you find yourself constantly living in a state of FOMO for fear of making the wrong choice. Each cup offers you a different prize representing areas of your life, each filled with a wish. However, it does not promise a positive result. Be clear on what your long-term visions are so that whichever cup you choose brings you closer to your goals. Temptation is calling, offering vices that are hard to ignore. These choices, however, can come with long-term consequences, so weigh your pros and cons if you choose to indulge. And finally, you have the Hermit card coming up reversed. So to me, when the Hermit card comes up reversed, I feel like it's just like it might not be necessarily solved by you and you alone. Which is kind of weird to say because of what I was saying before I even pulled out the cards and started shuffling about like how dreams can be so personal. But I would say that there might be someone either in your life that have had these similar dreams, or there's someone that you can talk to about them and get a new insight on them, so it kind of like resolves itself from having that conversation. And I don't think it's necessarily me. I mean, I think it's great that you won the mid-episode reading this time around, and I feel like you need this reading. But at the same time, like what I was saying before about the book that I'm reading, where it's just like I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready for the messages that I was getting, or I wasn't ready to read this particular book until I was ready to read this particular portion of the book. And I think that can happen with tarot readings, like I said before. And I think that's happening now with yours, where it's just like it might not be this tarot reading. I feel like there's a conversation that you need to have with somebody else in order to be like, oh. And it may not be an all at once realization. It may come from little realizations over time that will start to dissipate the airport dreams. Do you know what I mean? So here's the Hermit. It is coming up reversed for you, but this is the depiction of the Hermit. So I'm going to go ahead and flip it. So the Hermit is ruled by Virgo, according to the Mystic Mondays deck. And the reverse meaning of the Hermit is loneliness, confinement, and withdrawal. The Hermit asks that you take the time out of your busy schedule to connect with your higher self. Having trouble managing your day-to-day life has ignited your feelings of dissatisfaction. In need of spiritual sanity, this is a great time to evaluate your priorities. A lack of inner reflection can cause you to miss the greater purpose in your life. Beware of sinking too deep into isolation and becoming disconnected from the outer world. It's totally fine to seclude yourself to find clarity and purpose, but don't create your own confinement. Remember that this period of reflection is a choice, and you can free yourself from your own imprisonment at any time. Know that you are not alone, and that whenever you decide to reach out, a helping hand will be there to support you. So what is it with all these airport dreams? What do you think? What do you think, Fran, after what I said and after the reading? You can feel free to say it in the chat or keep it in the space of your own mind and heart, because the reading is for you. It's not for me. It's not for anyone that's watching this live stream right now. Oh. Arrow. It's that person right there. That's getting in the way. It's always her. Well, I would suggest tapping on it, honestly. Like, let me tell it, like, I'll do a tapping with you right now. You don't have to come on the stream. You can repeat as you will or not. It's actually kind of funny. I was doing tapping earlier, and the what I was tapping on was so the result was so immediate. It was stunning to me. And I was actually kind of not necessarily surrogate tapping, because it was something for me too, but my husband had gone outside and I was thinking about a situation, and I'm just like, you know what, I'm going to tap on this because we haven't had any resolution for this particular situation. And I want that resolution. I want it real, like, I want it. I want that resolution. I need it to happen. And I need it to happen today. I need it to happen right now. So I just started tapping, and I don't even remember exactly what I said. I remember kind of, and I'm just like, you know, this person's going to contact us. You know, there's going to be a text message, and it's going to happen as soon as he gets back in, and as soon as he sits down on the couch, and he's going to get a text message from that person. And my husband comes back in, did not say anything to him. And that person called him. Like, literally 30 seconds after he sat down, called him. And I'm like, that's ridiculous. Like, that was stunning to me. And that's part of the reason why I'm a tapping practitioner and also a tarot reader. Like you can't make this shit up. And like, some of it can be immediate results, immediate relief. Ooh, really? Wait, I listened to the tapping pod on the way home. Which one? My tapping pod? The one from the other day? Oh, I love it. If so, that's like awesome. But yeah, I think I'm on the edge of something big. I think you're on the edge of something big too. I think 3 out of the 4 cards being major arcana cards. Oh, awesome. Yes, the one you just dropped. Okay, so what Fran is referencing is the tapping podcast episode that I did that is also available on YouTube, in case you need the points. What was it? Episode 38. So it wasn't the most recent one, but it is the most recent tapping one. Episode 38, tapping on remaining optimistic when life has been dealing you a shitty, crappy hand. I said crappy. I probably said shitty. Because I usually don't censor myself when I'm tapping. But yeah, like that's a good one to do. But why not? Let's do a little tarot and tapping, because I enjoy incorporating those two things. Stuff comes up in a tarot reading and then you can immediately tap on it. And I love that. I love that aspect of it. So I feel like we're tuned in, but I'm going to do a little side of hand, and then we'll go through the points. All right. So let me put 2 feet on the floor. Hope you have your water handy. If not, and you're watching the replay, go ahead, pause the episode. If you're watching the replay, grab yourself some water and come right back. I'm going to tap on the side of the hands, and let's tap on this right now. And I'm going to borrow a little bit of Taylor Swift too. It's me. Hi, I'm the problem. It's me. I'm the one that's getting in my own way. I'm getting in my own way. And And I feel like I'm on the edge of something big. And I don't know what that something is. My dreams might be trying to tell me. And maybe I don't think I deserve the big things that might be coming to me. But I'm awesome. And I deserve good things. I deserve good things just by existing. And I know that if I want a bigger life, I have to think bigger about it. And I have to believe that there is a plan for my life. Even if I don't see that plan right now. So even though in the past, I have gotten in the way of myself, I deeply and completely love and accept and forgive myself. I forgive myself all of the times that I got in the way. I forgive myself the times where I settled. I forgive myself those times where I made myself small to keep myself safe. I realize that's a protection mechanism. And I don't need to do that to myself anymore. I don't need to do that to myself anymore. I deserve so much more in this life. And that's said without any ego. I deserve good things. I believe that I deserve good things. I believe I deserve good things. Take a deep breath in. And let it go. All right. How's that feeling? Drinking my coffee instead of water. All right, let's do a quick round of tapping. I am on the edge of something big. And instead of shying away from it or thinking that I lost my passport, even in a dream state, I'm going to magically find it. And jet off to Hawaii like I planned. Or wherever the fuck else I want to go. Because it's my life. And I'm going to do it up big. And I'm in control of my dreams. So the next time I have this dream in the airport where I'm lost and confused and don't know what to do or where to go, or realize that I left my shoes at the security checkpoint, I'm just going to take a deep breath and remind myself that this is a dream and I am in control of it. And magically, like Dorothy's ruby slippers, they will appear on my feet. And they will walk me to whichever gate I need to go to with a first-class seat. And instead of feeling anxious and insecure, I feel confident and calm. And even when things are not in my control, I release that anxiety to the universe because I know the universe has my back. Even if I can't see it at the time. And so it is. Take a deep breath in. Hold it. And let it go. Woo! And how is that feeling now? The mid-episode reading turned into a completely different thing than I thought, and I love it, and I'm here for it. And I don't even know how to describe that particular tapping session. Maybe we should just call it the Taylor Swift anti-hero tapping session. Guess I'll find out tonight. Guess you will. Yeah. And feel free to update us next week on the next episode. But thank you, Fran, for participating in the mid-episode reading and allowing yourself to be honest and vulnerable in a public space. I know it's not easy sometimes, especially it's great. The mid-episode reading is awesome. And, who wouldn't want a free reading with a tarot reader? But at the same time, it can be quite triggering and quite difficult. So thank you. All right. I think we are going to end the episode with the weekend forecast, and it's going to have to be real quick because my body is reacting to that particular tapping session, which was unexpected, which is fine. I love it. That's what it's there for, right? Let me grab my. Let me scooch this a little bit and grab a. Oh, there's my phone. Grab an oracle deck. 1 second. Can you pass me that there? Starseed? All right. We are going to go with the Starseed Oracle by Rebecca Campbell with artwork by Danielle Noel. And I'm telling you right now, my body is reacting quite viscerally. So this is going to be really, really quick. What do we most need to know for this weekend? Ooh, I'm doing the dance. I'm doing the pee-pee dance. All right. What do we most need to know this weekend? Ooh, a new earth. It's happening. Keep holding the vision. Okay. A new earth. It's happening. Keep holding the vision as I hold my bladder. All right. Really quickly. Don't give up now. You're closer than you think. I know it's hard to hold the frequency of a new age when it feels as if so much is crumbling and so many are losing faith. This is your sign that you're facing in the right direction. You have a great gift in being able to see the potential of things before they exist. Tend to the new seeds, dream them into existence. Don't lose faith now. Keep your focus fixed. And that's all I'm going to read because I really have to go. So thank you all so much for watching. Again, we do this every Friday night, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I am, once again, Hilary, professional tarot reader and EFT tapping practitioner, demystifying the mystical and putting you in touch with the most beautiful of gifts, your own intuition. Because yes, my friends, do not argue with me. You have intuition. Have a fabulous, fabulous weekend and a wonderful night and a wonderful week. And I will see you again next week. Same bat time, same bat channel. Friday, 6:30 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. You're so welcome, Fran. It is my pleasure. Have a great night. Bye.